Hey guys, so welcome back. It's Yogi Doug Johnson back with another Power Yoga Vinyasa flow class for you. And in this one, we use the bird dog to develop our core strength and the strength of our posterior chain. We work with Utthita Hasta Padangusthasana variations to stretch out the legs and develop our balance and standing strength. And we do a couple arm balances, including Titthibhasana, and this is to help with our upper body strength and coordination. And there's much more in the class, so everything is listed below in the chapters if you'd like to see that if you're on YouTube. And please remember that giving me a like, commenting, subscribing really does help spread the word of the video. It gets it out to more people because of the algorithms online. And if you'd like to help support me in continuing to make these videos for free and available to everybody in the general public, please consider making a one-time donation with the links below, or becoming a patron on Patreon and supporting me with a contribution monthly. Anyway, guys, I really enjoy you being here to practice with me. Let me know what you think on the other side. Thanks. So go ahead and find a seat. Close your eyes, sit tall. And focus on letting this moment in fully. Conventional wisdom teaches us that we relax and we're happy when we get what we want. What spiritual wisdom teaches us is we relax and we're happy when we stop resisting what is. So we don't need to read another spiritual book or receive another spiritual teaching to do this. In this very moment, we can just begin paying attention to what is. The state of our mind, the state of our heart. The state of our body and our environment. And I think you'll find that if you have an opinion or a judgment about what you're experiencing, then you can't experience it fully. There needs to be a kind of innocence to open fully to the moment. A willingness to say yes to your experience. Then I'll invite you to notice that your breath or breathing is a part of your experience at this moment. Just tuning in to that fact. And just feeling the breath as it comes and goes from the body. Then I'll invite you to begin to deepen your breathing. We alter the breath because that alters our nervous system and our brain our physiology. Inhaling into the belly, then the ribs, and then the upper chest. Exhaling, reversing this. Each breath deep and full, but without any strain. Then we will begin adding a soft hissing sound, like you're fogging a mirror, but with your mouth closed. And this is Ujjayi. Be sure you're breathing in and out through the nose and that the inhale and exhale is the same length. With your next exhale, come forward into a tabletop position and begin warming up the spine and the muscles in your torso with the cat-cow. Inhale, tailbone lifts, belly drops, crown of the head comes up. Exhale, tailbone tucks, back rounds, crown of the head comes down. Repeat this simple but effective warm-up as many times as you like. Once you feel that you have warmed up, tuck the toes, lift the hips, and come up and back into downward dog. In downward dog, shift the focus to the legs, the lower extremity, pedaling back and forth, rolling over the toes, circling the ankles, bending the knees, and warming up the legs. Once again, please take your time doing this, but once you feel you have warmed up, come into your full expression of down dog. Fingers spread wide, palms flat, hands shoulder width, chest drawing toward the toes, heels directly behind the toes, reaching toward the ground. With the next exhalation, walking your feet toward your hands, coming into a ragdoll. You can grab the opposite elbow, nod or shake the head, bend the knees, sway the hips, and just gently stretch the backside of your body. Then with an inhalation, gradually rolling up to standing, stacking ears, shoulders, hips, knees, and heels. Let's bring our feet to touch, and with our next inhalation, we'll draw the arms up, touch palms, and lift the heart as we come into a standing back bend. Taking several breaths as we lengthen from the pubic bone through the chin. If there's any pain in your neck, simply keep your chin tucked. With an inhalation coming back through center and with an exhalation coming into forward fold. The next inhale coming to the fingertips, and with an exhale stepping to the top of a push-up for plank pose. In plank, we align ears, shoulders, hips, knees, and heels. Make sure your wrists are directly below the shoulders and that your shoulders are engaged and not relaxed. Take a deep breath in, drop the knees, and with an exhalation, lower down halfway, elbows hugging the ribs. Take a breath here, and with the next exhale, lower the rest of the way down. And with the inhale, press into the tops of your feet and your hands as you lift head, neck, and chest for Cobra, Bhujangasana. With an exhalation, lower back down, press to tabletop, and then to downward facing dog. Inhale to your toes, look between your hands, and as you exhale, step, jump, or float to the front edge of the mat. Inhale again to standing back bend, and then this time, grab the right wrist with your left hand. As you exhale, send your hips over to the right as you pull your arm to the left, Ardha Chandrasana. Take a few deep breaths as you lengthen from your waist through your wrist on the right side. Inhaling, come back to center, switch wrists and exhale to the other side. Inhale, come back through center and exhale into forward fold. Inhale to half lift and exhale to the top of a push-up for plank pose. So knees up or down is your choice, but if you choose to keep the knees up, be sure that you are bending your arms deeply when you come down for the push-up. Otherwise, it's much better to drop your knees, but bend the arms. Take a deep breath, exhale, come down halfway, and again, be sure the elbows hug the ribs. Inhale, straighten arms and legs for up dog this time with your knees off the ground and arms straight. Otherwise, repeat Cobra, Bhujangasana, like we did last time. With the exhale, pull both feet in at the same instant as you draw your hips up and back into downward facing dog. Now inhale to the toes, look between the hands, and as you exhale, make your way again to the front edge of the mat. Inhale to standing back bend. Exhale to half moon. Inhale through center. Exhale to half moon on the other side. Inhale to center and exhale, sit back in an imaginary seat for Utthita or chair pose. This pose should be felt in the thighs. Take a deep breath in and exhale into forward fold, Uttanasana. Inhale to half lift, and exhale, try and step, jump, or float to the bottom of a push-up. Inhale, up dog or cobra. And exhale, do a push-up, tabletop, or move straight back to downward facing dog. In downward dog, let's bring our feet to touch. We're going to inhale the right leg up and back for three-legged dog pose. Notice that the leg is straight and lifted high without lifting the right hip. The left heel is firmly planted on the ground, or is as close as you can get it. Take a deep breath here, and as you exhale, lunge, placing the foot between the hands. And inhale into low lunge or Anjaneyasana. In this pose, the hips are as far forward and down as they can go, and there's a stretch from your left knee through your left wrist. Take a nice deep breath and exhale to the bottom of your push-up, making your way to downward facing dog. In downward dog, let's bring our feet to touch, and we'll inhale the left leg up and back. Let's take a few breaths just refining our three-legged dog pose. And as we exhale, we place the foot between the hands and inhale into our low lunge. Notice how the left heel is directly below the knee, and the knee and foot are pointing straight ahead. Take a deep breath and exhale to the bottom of your push-up as you make your way to downward facing dog. From down dog, exhale to tabletop. In tabletop, inhale and lift the right leg up and back. Try placing the toes on the ground and avoid lifting the hip. As you exhale, draw the knee back in, again with minimal movement of the hip, and then inhale, extend the left leg behind you, keeping the toes on the ground. Exhale, draw the leg in, and inhale right side, moving side to side. This is called the bird dog. And in bird dog, you'd like to keep the hips steady, even as the leg moves. So the visualization or instruction I want you to think about is imagine a teacup resting on your pelvis. And you want to avoid spilling any of the tea in that cup. The more your hip moves up or down as you lift the leg, the more the tea is going to spill. Finish up with the left leg behind you, and then make your way back to downward dog. You can vinyasa, or you can go straight back. From downward dog, we'll inhale to the toes as we fill our lungs, and exhale to the front edge of the mat. Inhale all the way up to standing back bend, and exhale, arms out in front of you. This is called the drinking bird, and it's a simple hamstring stretch, a dynamic stretch for the hamstring. Let's take a nice deep breath, and as we exhale, we'll send the right leg behind us as we reach down and touch the ground. The key to doing this stretch is coming down far enough so you feel a stretch in the standing leg and the back of that leg. Then you inhale and you come right back up to standing. we'll continue with the same legs. So we exhale, coming down, right leg behind us, and inhale, we come back up. Let's continue for several more breaths. Good. Inhale, come back up, and we'll switch sides. Same thing, drinking bird. Take a nice deep breath. Exhale the leg behind you. Stretch the back of the right thigh. Inhale, back up. Good. Inhale, come back up. Join arms overhead. And exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift, or maybe this time you add in Bakasana or crow pose. And then exhale, step, jump, or float to the bottom of a push-up. Inhale to upward facing dog, and exhale, push up back to downward facing dog. Let's bring our feet to touch. We inhale the right leg up and back. As we exhale, we touch our knee high up on the right arm, as high as we can get it, and we just take a breath there. Then inhaling, we'll draw the leg up and back, and exhale as we lunge, dropping the back knee, and inhale to our low lunge, Anjaneyasana. With the exhale, let's bring the hands back down, the hip over the knee, and straighten the right leg as we flex the foot and point the toes and knee toward the ceiling. Taking a nice deep breath in, as we exhale, we place the hands on the ground or two blocks as we fold over our straight right leg, again stretching the back of that thigh. Inhale, we come into our low lunge, and exhale, bottom of the push-up, making your way to downward dog. Then with our feet touching, let's inhale the left leg up and back. As we exhale, we're going to touch the left knee high up on the left arm. Don't forget to breathe. Then inhale the leg up and back, and exhale as you lunge. Inhale to the low lunge, and exhale to half triangle pose. As you hold this stretch or any stretch, try and focus on the strongest sensations. See if you can feel your breath moving through that part of your body. Inhale, coming back into low lunge, and exhale to the bottom of your push-up, coming back to downward dog. From downward dog, let's exhale to a tabletop again. And then from here, we'll come into a basic bird dog position. So we inhale, this time lifting the right leg up, Notice that the foot is flexed, the toes and knee are pointing straight down, and it's as though I'm pressing the heel through the back wall. So I exhale, I draw that leg back in, and then I inhale and lift the left leg. Once again, moving side to side and lifting the leg with the bird dog. Nothing we're doing with this so far is very challenging. So focus on really stabilizing the hip, and as the variations get more challenging, you will hopefully have mastered your ability to stabilize both halves of your torso, or both halves of your body. That's really what this is about. And again, we're moving from fairly easy variations to much more challenging variations later in the class. Let's finish with the left leg behind us, and then again, you can vinyasa or go straight to downward facing dog. From downward dog, let's inhale to our toes and exhale to the front edge of our mat. Inhaling all the way back up to standing, we'll exhale our hands to our hips in preparation for Utthita Hasta Padangusthasana A variation. Let's bring our feet to touch. We'll shift the weight to our left foot and bend the right knee. Then reaching down, we hold either the shin, big toe, or outside edge of our right foot. If you're holding the toe or the foot, with an exhalation, you can try extending the leg out. Pull on the leg to generate a stretch in the back of the thigh, but make sure that your back feels very comfortable. There's no pain in your back as you do this. To release the pose, try and keep the leg exactly where it is. Inhale the arm up and exhale, release the leg and the arm. Let's do side two. So if you have tight hamstrings, which many people do, and it is painful for you to grab the foot or the toe or straighten the leg, then remember to do this variation instead. Some people even like to hold behind the leg and try and straighten it like that. This is sort of an in-between position. The full expression of the pose is done again by holding the toe and extending the leg. But there's no point in doing the full expression of the pose if we end up injuring ourselves in the process. Let's take a nice deep breath and we'll exhale and release the pose. I came out of it the wrong way. That's okay though. Okay, we'll inhale, arms up, touch palms, lift the heart, and exhale into our forward fold. We inhale to half lift, crow pose, or maybe even a handstand here. Let's exhale to the bottom of our push-up, and we make our way back to downward facing dog. In downward dog, let's inhale our right leg up and back and exhale to a lunge. And this time we'll come down inside of that foot. So we're dropping down into what's called a lizard. Now, if you can't get down to your elbows like I am, that's okay. You just come as low as you can with your torso. And if you can, you might even sink lower by bringing your elbows forward, so you drop your torso down even more. Once you get low enough, you're going to feel a stretch in your right hip. Okay, let's return our hands to the ground, and then we'll inhale that leg up and back. Three-legged dog. Exhale and lunge, and with your next inhalation, come up into crescent lunge, Ashta Chandrasana. In Ashta Chandrasana, we have the front foot and knee pointing straight ahead, the knee lunged over the heel, the hips are down and forward, and the back leg is straight, the heels directly behind the toes. The arms are straight up and back, framing the ears. From here, we take a nice deep breath and we exhale to the bottom of our push-up, making our way to downward facing dog. Okay, feet are touching. We'll inhale, left leg up and back, and we exhale and lunge, dropping down into lizard pose. Remember that you aren't really doing lizard pose properly until you've come far enough down that you feel the inside of your left hip or leg stretching. Placing the hands back on the ground, we inhale to a three-legged dog, exhale to a lunge, and inhale to crescent lunge. With the next exhale, we release to the bottom of the push-up and we make our way to downward facing dog. Let's take a nice deep breath and we exhale to a tabletop position. Now we come to what's called the classic bird dog. To do the classic bird dog, we inhale, lifting the right leg behind us as before, heel pressing back, and we also extend the left arm simultaneously. As we exhale, we draw those limbs in, we inhale to the other side. Same idea as before, except now we're paying attention to the shoulders as well as the hips. Once again, the real difficulty in doing this is in stabilizing both halves of the body. So if you do this without doing that, it's going to be very easy. Who can't lift their arm and their leg pretty easily? Of course, there are people with injuries or elderly people, but most people who are relatively healthy can do that. The challenge is in doing it while stabilizing the hips and the rib cage relative to one another. Let's finish with the left leg behind us and then Vinyasa or go straight back to downward facing dog from there. Let's inhale to our toes, and as we exhale, make our way to the front edge of the mat. We inhale all the way up to standing back bend, and we again exhale our hands to our hips. Okay, we'll do the second variation of Utthita Hasta Padangusthasana now. And we do this by shifting weight over to our left foot as we bend our right knee as before. Same starting, we grab the shin or big toe or the foot. We want to stand up nice and tall once we've done that. Then same as before, if you are extending the leg, you do so with an exhalation, just extending the leg out in front of you. And then what we want to do, whether the leg is straight or bent, with our next exhale, we swing that leg over to the right, and we can extend our left arm out for a little counterbalance. For more challenge, look out over your left fingertips. Good. Inhale, bring the leg back in, and exhale, release that side. Let's try the other side, same thing. Remember to always try and find an edge. So your edge is where the pose is a little bit challenging. It might not yet be perfect, but you're able to breathe and to bring awareness to what you're doing and feeling as you hold the pose. Coming back and releasing the pose. Good. Inhale, arms up, touch palms, lift the heart, and exhale to forward fold. Inhale, half lift, or one of the other options, and exhale to the bottom of your push-up, making your way to down dog. From downward dog, we'll inhale the right leg up and back, and exhale as we place that foot between the hands, dropping down again into lizard. This time, we'll take our right leg and put it over our shoulder as though we were putting on a backpack or a knapsack. Then, looking up, we want to lift that leg up as high as we can, as straight as we can. We've stretched these muscles a few times already, so hopefully we can lift the foot at least a little bit. But even if you can't, know that just by making that effort to lift the foot, you are creating changes in your body. Let's exhale, place that foot back down, and we'll inhale to three-legged dog. Exhale to a lunge, and inhale up into crescent lunge. Exhale to warrior three. In warrior three, lift the back leg up nice and straight, parallel with the ground, chest parallel with the ground, and arms parallel with the ground. Keep trying to keep the left hip down, level with the right hip, while still keeping the leg lifted. Take a nice deep breath and exhale to the bottom of your push-up as you make your way to downward facing dog. In downward dog, let's bring our feet to touch. We inhale the left leg up and back, and we exhale to lizard pose. Once again, once we're in lizard, let's take that left leg, put it on our shoulder or arm, and try and lift the toes. Lift the leg as high as we can, straightening it. Placing that foot back on the ground, let's inhale to three-legged dog, exhale and lunge, inhale to crescent lunge, and exhale to a warrior three. Let's take a nice deep breath and exhale to the bottom of our push-up, gradually making our way to downward dog. From downward dog, let's exhale to a tabletop position. And now we take a look at a much more challenging version of the bird dog. To do this version, what we'd like to do is lift our knees so that they are level with our heels, not much higher than that, and still do the bird dog as before. So we can lift our knees up like so. Notice I'm not lifting way up. It's not a downward dog. My knees are still very much bent. They're just hovering above the ground. And then I can start with the easy variation, right? Keep the toes on the ground, watching the hips, trying to not let them move very much. If that feels okay, I can then try lifting the leg higher, right? Much harder with the knee off the ground. I hope you can sense that. And then the final thing to try is adding the arm. Wow, way harder, right? Way more difficult. So just give it a shot, see what you can do, try any of those variations. And again, don't worry about being perfect. I like to say practice makes progress, not perfect. Perfect doesn't exist. Perfection doesn't exist in the physical realm. So we just get as close as we can, make our best effort, and that is plenty for us. Okay, we finish with the left leg behind us, and then again, we can vinyasa or go straight to downward dog. From our down dog, we inhale to the toes and make our way to the front edge of the mat. Inhale up to standing back bend, and once again, exhale, hands to hips. We'll do another variation of Utthita Hasta Padangusthasana, but this time we add a twist, literally. So we shift weight to our left foot, bend the right knee, and then again, we can hold the shin or the outside edge of the foot or the toe, but we do it with the left hand this time. So again, I can hold here, I can hold here, and I want to stand up once I have my hand on the leg or foot. Then with an exhale, if I'm holding the foot or the toe, I extend the leg out in front of me as I reach my arm back behind me, and I try looking back over my right fingertips. Good. Exhale as you release the pose, and then let's try the other side. Inhale back to center and exhale, release your pose. Inhale, standing back bend, and exhale to forward fold. Inhale, half lift, and exhale, bottom of the push-up. Okay, it's at this point in the class that I like to give a little talk. We are in what I like to call the home stretch. And it's at this point usually that we want to quit if we haven't already. We're starting to feel tired. We're sweaty and our breath might be quite labored. But a few points I want to make. One is it's at this point that very often you're actually going to make the most progress. So if you're trying to get stronger, it's at this point that you are fatigued that you'll find that you actually are able to make progress in your strength. Same with flexibility. We've been working certain muscles, and at this point they have been stretched and they're quite open. They are going to be ready to do perhaps more than they've ever done before. So I'm going to encourage you to, again, just do your best. Try and make it all the way to the end of the class. But I'll also point out that when we get tired, we can maybe start to try and cut corners. So do your best to really double your focus, double your awareness, double your effort for this last portion of the class. Really try and squeeze every ounce of goodness as you can from this last bit of our class together. Okay, the feet touch. We inhale the right leg up and back. And if you're able, just bring that leg forward, rest on your arm, straighten the leg and lift the back leg up. That's called Eka Padasana, first variation. Just give it the old college try. If you can do it, great. If not, just make your best effort. And then exhale. We'll inhale the leg up and back, and then exhale, lunge. Inhale to crescent lunge, and exhale to warrior three. From warrior three, exhale your hands to the ground. Lift the back leg straight up toward the ceiling. And walk your hands toward the standing leg. And you can try grabbing the ankle with one or both hands, challenging your balance in space a little bit more. If you are a handstand practitioner and you can jump up into that position safely, you are more than welcome to try that here. This can be a good transition into a handstand. Let's take a nice deep breath as we exhale to the bottom of our push-up and make our way back to downward dog. In downward dog, we'll bring the feet to touch. We inhale the left leg up and back, and then again exhale. We just see about that arm balance. Then we inhale the leg up and back, exhale and lunge. We inhale to the crescent lunge, and then exhale to a warrior three. Take a breath there, and then exhale to standing splits. Notice how the longer we hold a posture, the more likely we are to mentally check out. So try and keep redoubling your efforts to be present and to continue to do your best with each breath that you're in the pose. Exhale to the bottom of your push-up, making your way back to downward facing dog. From our downward dog, we will come forward into a plank position. This is the last of our bird dogs, and this one we do from the plank. So we inhale and lift the right leg, exhale that leg down, inhale left leg, and again we want to avoid moving those hips. For more challenge, I simply add the arm as well as the leg. You can see much harder. Let's finish with the left leg lifted, and again make our way to downward dog. And from down dog, inhale to our toes, exhale to the front edge of our mat. Let's inhale up to standing, and we'll exhale and fold over. Okay. So let's walk our feet out a little wider than our shoulders. And then we're going to squat down and we'll try a pose called Titthibhasana. So from Titthibhasana, from standing, what we'd like to do is take our legs over our shoulders as we've done earlier, one at a time. Okay? And then I place my hands behind my feet, and I look up, and I drop my hips. Okay, so I'm in this kind of weird, look kind of like a bug, right? So from here, what I'd like to do is try lifting the legs one at a time, as we've done before, right? And then I see if I can lift them both at the same time and straighten them. And that's called firefly pose. You can see my legs aren't perfectly straight. I don't have the most beautiful firefly, but I'm still working my body in the exact same way as someone who can do the pose perfectly, and that's what's important. Now, the question for you, if you are not able to do this pose, is what can you do? How much of it can you do? I think everyone can fold over. I think most people will be able to get their legs over their shoulders at least a little bit. Probably most people will be able to drop their hips down from there. Might be kind of awkward or weird. And then some people will be able to lift the legs at least one at a time. And then some people will be able to lift both legs together. So that's sort of the step-by-step process. How much of that can you do? And again, don't worry about perfection. Don't worry about what anyone else can do. What you want to focus on is what you can do. Okay, from standing, let's inhale our arms up, and we exhale to a forward fold. Inhale to half lift, and from there, let's just exhale back onto our back into a Savasana for a moment. Just relax. Good, let's bring our legs in. We'll give them a little squeeze and just make a few circles in each direction. Maybe rock forward and back or side to side a few times. And then we'll take a nice twist. So let's extend our arms to the side. We'll drop both knees to the left as we look off to the right. Try closing your eyes. Let your breath be natural. Let's inhale, knees back to center, and we exhale off to the other side. We inhale the knees back to center, and this time grab the soles of the feet for Happy Baby or Ananda Balasana. So rocking, rolling back and forth, stretching the legs, stretching your back. Take your time, and when you feel that you're ready to relax, come into the corpse pose, Savasana. Legs comfortably apart. Arms out to the sides, palms up. Head centered, chin tucked in slightly, eyes closed. And what we'd like is to have stillness for the next 6 minutes or so. So set a timer if you need to. Feel free to stay there longer if you feel like you need a longer rest. But give your body a little bit of time to regenerate and restore itself. Shavasana. Okay, I really hope you enjoyed that. I hope you found it challenging, but also rewarding. So again, please comment, subscribe, like, hit the bell icon if you're on YouTube, and do consider making a contribution to help me continue with this work. If there are any questions, I'd love to hear from you. As always, thank you. Namaste.